Yow, yow, yow. What up, what up, what up, my betting family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of April 7th, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're about 70 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I'm going to be bringing y'all my top 6 picks for tonight's NBA slate of games. As you know, it is Friday, and PrizePicks, as usual, every Friday they hold a promotion of a protected flex play. Your first one submitted up to $20. If you don't win, they'll give you your money back in promo funds, again up to $20. But just to do a quick recap of yesterday's horrible day. As you guys could see on the picks that we posted on yesterday's video, we went 0 for 3 as Pal Banchero ended up being a DMP. Malachi Burnham, I got to give it to him. He tried. We just caught him on an off night, an off rookie night, as he was 1 for 12 from the field, going 0 for 5 from the 3, only scoring 2 points. But it is what it is. We also had Jimmy Butler over 35.5 PRAs. This one was also not able to hit. He did have it going. He didn't play a minute in the fourth quarter as the Heat were blowing out the Philly. And we also had Jalen Williams over 27.5 PRAs. He has a quiet game, only having 15, only ended up with 15 PRAs, as towards the end OKC pretty much took control of that game last night. But Jalen Williams obviously had a quiet night, only 18 with 15. So 0-3 day. Then I posted another slip on my Twitter account, and that one also was bad. Completely misread all my picks yesterday. As you guys can see, Embiid, we took his over 13.5 rebounds and assists. Like I just mentioned, that ended up being a blowout. He doesn't play a minute in the fourth quarter, but even if it was a close game, not sure if he was gonna be able to hit, as he wasn't really engaged, So going to our next pick, we had SGA over 32.5 points. He only ends up with 22. The only green on this slip, or the only green of the day, was Trey Jones. We had him over 24.5 PRAs. He ends up with 32. We also had Kelly Olynyk under 13.5 rebounds and assists. Obviously, he crushes this line and he ends up with 22 rebounds and assists. We also had Bam over 24.5 points and rebounds. If he plays a minute in the fourth quarter, or if he gets his regular fourth quarter minutes, should I say, he should have easily hit this. But like I mentioned, it was a blowout. He also doesn't play a minute in the fourth quarter. And then we had DeAndre Ayton over 9.5 rebounds. He only ends up with 5. So all in all, like I mentioned, man, horrible day. So we definitely look to bounce back here on tonight's NBA slate of games. So let's go ahead and get started with my top 6 picks. For my first pick, I'm going to be going to PRA category. And I'm going to be going down to, I guess, one of the few meaningful games on tonight's NBA slate. I'm going to be taking Luka Doncic over 46.5 PRAs against the Chicago Bulls. Now, as you guys can see, over his last 5, he has only hit the over in 1 out of those last 5 games, and is only averaging 44.2. But I expect a big game here from Luka tonight, as they're still trying to find their way into that play-in game, with OKC winning last night. Now they're a half a game behind OKC for that last play-in spot, that 10th seed. And I expect they definitely need to win out, obviously, and I expect Luka to get it done here tonight. Now I know this has some potential blowout written over it, as with the Bulls being locked into that 10th seed, they're resting a lot of their main players. I don't think Zach LaVine, Vucevic, or DeMar DeRozan are playing. So, but even if it is going to be a blowout, somebody has to have it rolling for the Mavs for it to be a blowout. And I expect that guy to be Luka. So I'm going to be taking him over 46.5 PRAs for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to go to another meaningful game, one of the few, like I just said, on the slate tonight. And I'm going to be going down to the Warriors and Kings game. And I'm going to be taking Klay Thompson over 21.5 points. Now, so you guys can see over his last 5, he's pretty much averaging right at this line at 21.8. But he has only hit the over in 2 out of his last 5. He did miss 1 on the hook against Philly right at 21. But his last 2 games, he has hit the over against the Spurs, scoring 31 points, and against Denver, scoring 25. Now, with this one, the Warriors are currently the 6th seed. They are tied with the Clippers, who are the 5th seed. And they're only 1 game up on both the Lakers and Pelicans, who are tied. The Lakers and Pelicans have the same record. They're tied as the 7th and 8th seed. So the Warriors definitely need a dub here tonight to pretty much stay out of the play-in game. And I expect the Splash Brothers to do their thing tonight against a Kings team who they could possibly still get to that 2nd seed. They are currently the 3rd seed, but as we know, they're a fast-paced team. A lot of points are scored with the Kings. And I expect, like I just mentioned, the Splash Brothers to do their thing tonight. And I'm going to be rocking with Klay Thompson over 21.5 points. Now, Klay had recently, I believe he's played 1 or 2 games against the Kings this season, and he has not hit the over in any of those games. So I expect him to have a big game tonight against the Kings. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to be sticking to the points category. I'm going to be going up to one of the earlier games, and I'm going to be taking, not really sure how to pronounce his name, but Svi. I'm not really going to try it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to be taking him over 16.5 points against the Houston Rockets. Now, over his last 5, so you guys can see he is averaging right at this line at 16.8, but he has hit the over in 3 out of his last 5 games. 1 game that he did miss against the Bulls, he ended up right on the hook against the Bulls. He ended up right on the hook with 16. Now, with him, he has pretty much become one of their top scorers here in the past couple of days, since the Hornets have been, sitting out all their main players. So they're just playing a whole bunch of role players, developing them, and seeing what they could, find as far as in productivity from these players. So I can't pronounce his name. Svi. He's been able to step up. As you guys can see, in very tough matchups, two games in a row against Toronto, he was able to hit his over. Toronto's a great defensive team. Against the Bulls, he ended up right on the hook. They're also a good defensive team. And then OKC, they're not that great of a defensive team, but he was also able to hit his over. And that OKC matchup, I see it somewhat the same, a similarity to this Houston Rockets matchup here tonight, as the Rockets obviously like to, score points. They're a very fast-paced team, but they rarely play defense, So I'm going to be taking him over 16.5 points for my third pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going to be going to the PRA category. I'm going to be taking a guy who let us down a couple nights ago, specifically on Wednesday night. We took his over against the Knicks, but he wasn't able to get it done. But here tonight, I'm going to be taking Bennedict Mathurin over 25.5 PRAs for my fourth pick against the Detroit Pistons. Now, as you guys can see, over his last 5, he is averaging above this line at 29.6. He has hit the over in 4 out of his last 5 games. The lone miss was against OKC with 19. But here tonight against the Pistons, he should have a favorable matchup. As we know, the Pistons are also just pretty much sitting out all their veteran guys and just trying to see who can produce as far as in their young players and role players. So he should have a favorable matchup now. In one game against he only played one time against the Pistons this season, and in that game he crushed this line. He ended up going over this line alone in points. He had 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists for a total of 36 PRAs. So, like I said, I expect him to have a favorable matchup and be able to hit this line as long as he gets his minutes, which I believe he should be getting his minutes. So I'm gonna be rocking with him for my 4th pick. For my 5th pick, I am going to be taking the under. It is the only under of the day. I'm going to go back to the points category, and I'm going to be taking the under on Fred VanVleet against the Boston Celtics, under 19.5 points. Now, as you guys can see, Fred has been struggling here as of late, only averaging 14.8 points, and he only hit the over in 1 out of his last 5 games against the Hornets, and he just barely made it over, scoring 20 points. Here against the Boston Celtics, he has not played well in his career against the Celtics. He has only hit this over in 3 out of 19 career games against the Celtics. But when we're looking at Fred playing in Boston, which the game is going to be in Boston tonight, he has not hit this over in his career in Boston in 10 career games. So he's 0 for 10 going over this line against Boston in Boston. And in 2 games versus the Celtics this season, obviously one of them was a couple nights ago where he only scored 7 points. The other time, earlier in the season, he only ends up scoring 8 points. So he didn't even score double digits against Boston this season thus far. Maybe he does get over double digits, but I don't expect him to get 20 points here tonight. So I'm going to be taking his under 19.5 points for my 5th pick. And for my 6th and last pick, this is somewhat of another meaningful game. I'm going to be taking the over on Brandon Ingram, 26.5 points. Against let me just double check who they're playing against, the Knicks. Now with the Knicks here, they are going to be sitting out all their main players. They're pretty much locked into that 5th seed. The Knicks are, but as you guys can see, over his last 5 games, he's averaging above this line at 27.8. He has hit the over in only 2 out of his last 5 games. One of the games against the Warriors, he ended up right on the hook. But I expect Brandon Ingram to have a big game here tonight. They're going to need him as the Pelicans are currently the 8th seed. As I mentioned earlier, they're tied with the Lakers, who are the 7th seed. And they're only 1 game behind the Warriors and Clippers. The Clippers are the 5th seed, and the Warriors are the 6th seed. They're tied as well. And they're only 1 game up on the Timberwolves. Now, so this is an important game. The West, these last couple games for those teams seeded 5th through pretty much 9th are going to be very important. These last couple of games going down the stretch. And I think Brandon Ingram is going to be a big part of the W that they should get here tonight against the Knicks, who are, like I mentioned, sitting out all their main players. They are locked into that 5th seed. Now, in 1 game against the Knicks earlier this season, he did only have 19 points as the Knicks ended up winning by 22 points. But again, that was with all their starters, all their main players, which is they're not going to be playing here tonight. So I'm going to be rocking with Brandon Ingram over 26.5 points for my 6th and last pick. So that's going to be it for my top 6 picks. Just to recap, we're going to be taking the over on all of them except Fred VanVleet's 19.5 points. We're going to be going on the under on him. And as always, if you guys agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, it is Friday. PrizePicks is holding a promotion of a protected flex play. Your first one submitted up to $20. If we lose, we get a $20 back in promo funds. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. And I'm going to be placing a $20 entry for the possibility of winning $500. So let's go ahead and place that entry. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Let's get this money.